Good morning, YouTube. Sean Ponta II here, coming to you from a very busy Missouri on my way to work. Welcome to another edition of Home to Work Vibes. Hopefully everybody had a good night of sleep last night. Fell asleep early, and I got up pretty early. If you are new to my channel, do like, share, subscribe, and comment to me, Shelton Ponder II. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Tony Gumble 21. Well, let's just say that I cannot predict how a game is going to go. But last night I happened to be spot on. I'm not sure if my previous video uploaded or not, but if it did, just go back and see what I predicted. I predicted a 24-17 win. Guess what? There was a 24-17 win. But it wasn't by the team that I had said it would be. It was by the team that I thought would lose, which was the Bears. Never, ever, 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 ever count out a team with a pretty strong defense. 5 times Russell Wilson was sacked. And Russell Wilson is one of my favorite quarterbacks. So for him to get sacked is, he runs. He's a runner. He likes to run. That's his favorite thing to do. That is one of his favorite things to do. He also likes passing it, which he can throw a football long yards. Now, I read his backstory, and his backstory is incredible. Every team said he was too short. He's 5'11". He's 5'11". Most NFL quarterbacks are, 6 foot? Maybe the tallest being Cam Newton, who is 6'4", 250 pounds. But a guy like Russell Wilson is why I like him so much. Russell Wilson, like I said yesterday, has a beautiful wife, has a beautiful stepchild, and has a beautiful child. Now, all these people who are doubting him, saying that he can't do it, guess what? You're not going to win every game, so stop trying. So stop trying. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, the Seahawks had a pretty decent game. They did come back, though, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So, what do? Well, Russell Wilson, you know he's going to mount a comeback. And now they're 0-2. Now they're 0-2. But it's not the end of the world. You know, when people say, oh, they're 0-2, it's the end of the world for them. It's not. It's not. They, you know what, they are still a championship caliber team. They might have lost a lot of key figures like Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, or Michael Bennett, Cam Chancellor. But these are individuals who can still make noise in the NFC North. I mean, look at Arizona. They lost 34-0. 34-0. Arizona's supposed to be good. Never, ever, ever count out a team who is down. You saw what the Patriots did. They almost came back. Any team who is down that has an elite quarterback, I'm not saying that the quarterbacks of this, I'm not saying that all these quarterbacks are bad. No, I'm not. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is that if you're elite, and let me say this to you. Quarterbacks are under the most scrutiny of all players. So, of course, what is one going to do? Everybody's going to say, well, I was listening to radio last night while I was driving home. They said, well, you know, is Pete Carroll's time coming up? And me, I'm thinking, no. You know, he's a good, but you let some key players go. What I would have done with Richard Sherman is I would have kept him. I would have kept Michael Bennett, because you want a 2013 defense and you're in 2018. What are you going to do? But for people to say, oh, Pete Carroll's time in Seattle is limited, how do you know that? How do you know that? Did you go to the front office and speak with them about that? Or is that just what a source that you can't pinpoint said? I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But when reporters are called out on bluff, when the reporters report bluff, you know, when the reporters are called out bluff, then they're always one to retract what they say. Oh, you know, this person came after me because I said something about the team. Go to the main source. Go to the Seahawks directly and ask what's going on. Is it usual for a team of high caliber to be 0-2? Yeah. But that's why you don't count out any football team. I don't care if you're so elite that you can write a book on it. I don't care. But if you are a quarterback, in fact, the entire team is under a microscope. Look at the Eagles. Yesterday, Carson Wentz is medically cleared to play. Now one would think, well, why would they do that? Well, it's probably because the Eagles are 1-1, and they would rather be 2-0 like some other teams are. That could be it. Or because here's what's funny is that Carson Wentz was not able to play in the preseason. So now that Nick Foles is doing decent, MVP quarterback, what I would have done is eight weeks, I would have had Nick Foles play, and then the rest of the time I would have had Carson Wentz play. Because Carson Wentz and Nick Foles are two dynamic quarterbacks. Nick Foles, and I'm not bashing Carson Wentz. He's a good guy. He's a cool guy. I mean, I never met him before, but I've seen interviews of him, and he just seems like a cool, down-to-earth kind of guy. But if someone wins you a ring, a championship, don't you think it would be smart to have that person play throughout 8 weeks, and then have the other quarterback, have the big name quarterback play the other 8 weeks? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just asking. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But that's none of my business, though. Doug Peterson knows exactly what he's doing. Do I agree with it? No. Don't rush a quarterback who had a massive injury last year. Don't rush him back onto the field and he's not ready. And he's not ready to go. They might say, oh, he's ready to go. But is he really ready to go? We'll find out Sunday. But for a team to rush back a quarterback whose career could have been over after that, that's kind of sketchy, don't you think? I would think so. I would think so. I would think that, wait a sec, something's not right here. Let him gradually come back. If he's not, honestly, if a quarterback is not ready physically, then don't rush him back out onto the field. because he's going to have a defense swarming him. And defense, they care, but not a lot. Gradually bring the man back. Don't rush him back, because you rush him back and he's rusty and he throws, 5-6 interceptions. Then you're going to be like, well, why didn't, reporters are going to say, or sports analysts are going to say, well, why didn't they send him for another game? If he was not ready to go, then why did they sit him? And then it's going to come back on the coach, who's going to get even more pissed off because his decision is in question. Like I said, don't bring a quarterback in who had a season-ending injury last year to the field if he's not ready. I'm sorry, but to me, that rushing him back, rushing any player back is not a good thing. It isn't. In my opinion, it isn't. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, if he was ready, then put him in. What if he's not, though? And he rushed him back? And he aggravates that injury. Then what? Then what? And everybody's going to be asking the question of why. Why didn't you leave him? Why didn't you let him stay? Why didn't you let him sit on the bench another week? That is going to be the main question that every reporter is going to ask. And Doug Peterson is going to have to answer that. He's going to have to answer that. He is. He truly, truly is. Because whether you know it or not, people are going to talk. People are going to think, well, wait a minute. Why would he bring out a quarterback who had a season-ending injury and he's not really ready? Is it probably because they're 0-2? Let's see. Is it because they're 1-1 that they're wanting Carson Wentz to come back? I don't know. I really don't. But we'll see come Sunday. We'll see come Sunday. We'll see how the Eagles do come Sunday. And we will see how Carson Wentz does. Is he going to have a good game or is he going to have a bad game? Is he going to throw for, maybe 3 touchdowns, or is he going to throw for 4 interceptions? Is he going to have some rush yards, or is he just going to be passing it all day? That's the question that everybody's going to be asking. What does Carson Wentz have? Does he have what he had before he got injured? Or does he have less of what he had before he got injured? It's major questions that are going to have to be answered Sunday. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. It's at 20 minutes now. As always, YouTube, follow, like, share, subscribe to me here Also, follow Red K. Hauler. Special acknowledgement goes out to him because he acknowledged me Sunday night. Go follow him. Go follow. Red space K space Hauler. Look at his videos. He's got some good content. Anyway, YouTube, it's been fun. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment to my videos. Sheldon Ponder. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TonyGumble21. As always, live your life the way you want to live it, not the way someone else wants you to. I'm Sheldon Ponder, and I'm signing out. Talk to you this afternoon.